All right. So we're gonna solve that problem. We go to that one. I think it's in here, right? California population. Okay. So what you have to do is, guys, grab this code and then make a copy, right? Um, so you have to make a copy right here, right? So make a save a copy in Drive, okay? And it will open a new copy, and then you can, because you will not, your changes will not reflect in here, right? You may be able to try out, but it will not save. So I created. So basically, I just created one. So basically, click on File and save a copy in Drive. That's what you have to do, and it will open that copy. Okay, so that's what I just did, and then it opened this copy. Okay. Um, it's basically asked this, right? Yeah, this one. So you have to add another plot, right? And then you have to use star as a tick mark in that plot, and then you have to add those titles as well, right? So x and y axis, meaningful title, and then put them vertically, right? So I kind of have given two template functions. One is horizontal, this one, and then the other one, um, the vertical one, right? So these are the two plots. So basically, kind of stretch this code. The objective is, you know, just to expose you guys into this thing, only to expose, because this plotting in Python is really deep topic, and then you can basically take it on your own later, right? So just want to give you this template, and then you can take it and then make it your own. Question? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the combine the plots. You can write a new function for that. Yeah. So but don't worry, I actually have that code. That's a little bit, you have to explore yourself a little bit on make it like, all three plot into like, in a single one, right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you have, I think you better write a new function for that. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I did, and you will see when I post my code. Okay. All right. So so in this one, we need to increase. Sorry, this one. I keep going to the third one. So second one. So um, and then this one is correct. We only have one row. We just need to add to the right of this guy, right? Another one, right? So that means the number of columns should be three, right? So right now it's two. We have two plots, one column here, one column here. The next column is the third one. Okay. So we change this to three, right? And then plot numbers one, two, three. So there are one. This is plot one, plot two, and then for the plot three, we're gonna copy paste this code and then change it. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Okay. So I'm gonna simply copy paste this over this, and I'm going to change it. So this is going to be plot number three. Okay. And then we need one more data set. So here, one total population density. And the other one is, the third one is the rank, right? Density rank. Okay. So I'm going to take that and write it over here. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Surely, can you help him? Yes. Yep. Yeah. So I actually turned that to three, right? Right here, 18. Yeah, that's gonna be three now. Yeah, because it's three now. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So that's a comment, right? Code comment. This is a comment, right? Yeah, I know that. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Okay. So I just copy pasted, right? I have to change that. Okay. So I copy pasted this one there, right? So I didn't change this one, so I just changed that. Thanks. Okay. All right. So yeah, these three. So port number is three now. It's actually I'm passing it. Okay. So so these changes are done now, but I need the third data set, right? So this is the first one, this is the second one, and this is the third data set. So I added that. Okay. Now I have now to change that right over here, right? So this should be in the plot, not population density anymore because I copy pasted this one, right? Should be the density rank. Okay, that's what I asked, right? So it should be that. Got it? Because if I plot this one the same thing, then it's gonna plot the same thing, right? So I need to change it to this one also. I need to change, right? So this need to be actually star, it's a single star. Okay, I just found out in the morning today. Okay, all right. So looks like the plots, three plots are done, and just need to call. Okay, in the call, right? So this way I'm calling the function. I need to add the third data set, okay, density rank. Okay. See that density rank is over there, it's as a list, right? So this is my call. Okay. Yeah, first function. I haven't changed anything in second yet. Okay. Yeah, so this is where I added it. See that I added the code for third plot. Okay. And I also got the new input because I only had two data sets. This is the one total, and then the population density. I didn't have density rank inside, right? So I need to get that in, and then I use it in here, right? So that's the third plot. And then I have when I call the function, so I had two data set only, so I added this one too now. Okay, because I have remember, right? So you have to match this parameter set in your call too, right? In your actual parameter set, actual sorry, um, yeah, actual parameter or the arguments kind of need to the number should match, right? All right, so let's run this one. Okay, all right, so we should get a one to the right. All right, see that? Okay, okay, all right. So I just added this plot to the right with a blue star. Okay, so it's right here again. This is the code, guys. Yeah, right here. Right here. No, this button. Run all also works, but this is easier button right here. Okay. And we get this one. Okay. And we need to follow the same way, right? To change the vertical one. So there, right? So number of rows going to be now three because we are going to add three rows of plot. And it's a single column, right? See that it's a single column of plot, but two rows right now, but we're gonna make it three, right? So that's what we are going to do. Okay. So this is the population two function. You also need to input that data set as well. Okay. All right, and then Um, yeah, try Y and or G, even G might work, right? So I think we had trouble the other day, but I think yeah, the third plot, okay. And here we're gonna basically change this to density rank, the Y. Okay. Okay, I asked B, right? So this should be actually let's say B star, right? I don't know which one I asked. Let me check. Um, yeah, it's blue star actually. So let's do that. All right. Okay. I'm working on the second one. Yeah, second one. Do you want to see the first one still? Okay. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna increase a little bit. Might help. Okay. So right here. Okay. And that's it. We don't have to change anything, right? Because we change the things that we want to change at the very top. We change this to 3, and then this was 1, and then plot numbers 1, 2, 3, because they are numbered from like top to bottom or left to right, right? And then we can run. Okay. Sorry. I think we got a mistake. Oh yeah, in the call I didn't put the parameter, right. So this is my call. See the call, I didn't put the density rank. So that was complaining actually. Okay. See that the complaint is missing one required parameter, positional argument, density rank. Yeah, in the definition I had it, but in the call I missed it. So it's actually a type error in Python. Okay, if you miss a parameter. Yeah, right here, second one or the third. First one, okay. First one is this. We are only changing the this to this was 2 and then now it's 3. So we have 3 rows, right? See the number of rows of plots going to be 3 because we need 3. And the column is single column because all plots are together in a single column, right? So it's 1. And then the plot numbers 1, 2, 3, and then right here we add the correct data. Okay? Yeah, and that's it. So we got the we run it, and we have the 3 plots vertically now. Okay. Surely, can you help him? So, so to get the axis title, and I already have done it. I'm going to show you guys over here, but I'll post that code. Okay. So that takes a little bit time, so I'm not going to do it over here, but you will see when I post my code in there. Okay. So you can see that we need to put the title to each plot, like right here. Like for example, this one, the density rank versus the year title, and this one I think density versus the year, and this one total population versus the year. And then axis also need to have a title right here and right here, right? So this code have all of it. Okay, see that axis has a title, the year, and the total population, and then each plot has its own title, like this. And this is what we actually have like learned in previously, right? When we plot something, we need to have the title of what we are plotting, right? So that's just one way of doing that, right? So likewise, okay. So here is the code. I'll post this code later, okay. And then this, Yeah, so right here, right? See that it's actually the title is going to be I'm gonna sorry. This is the sorry about that. So the first function, um, it's just the title, and this one is population density versus the year, and then these are the two titles for the X label and Y label, and this is how you put the two labels. Okay, so it's the same plot dot and X label, Y label. Okay. And the last function, third one, I think that answers Frederick's, I forgot his name actually. His question. Is that Freddy, right? Alfred, sorry. You asked that question. So this is the third one. The all three plots together in a single plot is that one. I'll post that code. I'll post that in later today or this week. Okay. All right. So you will see that how I did that. That's a little bit you have to explore. So um, I recommend exploring on yourself as well. But I am going to give you that. Okay. So take a look. Okay. Here's that plot. Okay. So all three in a single plot. Okay. All right. And you can see that there's another axis to the right. Okay. All right. So let me show you the original code again right here. You guys can, if you want to copy down, you can, but I will also post in the same into Canvas. Okay. So again, guys, we are kind of touching this topic. Okay. So I recommend take this template and then run with it and try your own things. Okay. Mhm. Yeah, that's a good question. Well, that's why I said this. We are just touching base. Or if they're out of focus of this class. But you can simply Google how to do that. But this is what I did. I did it manually, right? But I get your point. Like, let's say if you have 1,000 elements, you kind of end up typing it over here. That's ridiculous, right? There are ways to actually import data by reading a file, like data file. But yeah, so I mean, I can show you how to like one on one if you want to, right? Yeah, I mean, it's really straightforward way, but it's that's beyond our focus on this class. This is a beginner class, right? Yeah. Yes. Surely. All right. Um, any other question on this one? All right, so let's go to our lesson, guys. Okay, so it's over here. So I'm gonna, oops, not that, this one. So we did list. We kind of went to list, but we were here random numbers. Okay. Just a last one. So here is the seed, right? And we learned that what is the default seed value Python use? Okay, so different question. What if we use the same seed value? What's going to happen? We just say so. There's no randomness, right? So that means it's not random anymore. We get the same number, and that also proves to us that this is a recipe running. So it's not a pure random number. It's an algorithm giving us number, right? So that means there's no pure random number. using a calculation giving us. So there's no random. That's why we call it pseudo random numbers. So then how do we get actually actual randomness? Somewhat at least. So you seed, right? So with what seed? So what should be the seed value then? We talk about that on Tuesday. So if we put something changing all the time to the seed, problem solved. We saw that, right? So, but what's changing all the time? Okay. Yeah, so then how do we choose a section? Yeah, so that's the problem now, right? But you have a good point otherwise, yeah. So we discussed this, guys. You're fine. So, right here, um, oh, sorry, we learned less than before that, I think. Yeah, maybe I don't know. So, what's evolving? Oh, maybe okay. You know what? I think, um, yeah, we may not have touched that topic. But that's good now. Okay, so I'm gonna show it to you guys because I know I think what happened is we actually ran out of time the other day. Okay, so I'm gonna create a random number. Okay, so let's say import random. Okay, um, and then print rand. Well, I'm gonna first use the seed. Okay. Well, let's try it without using a seed. Okay, so I'm gonna say random dot rand int. Let's create like a number between 0 and 10. Okay, so all right, so we get oh too many sections. Oh, I think I need to close some of these. Let's see. Google is angry now. Okay, so all right. So, so well, it's on this one too. All right, but now Google, come on, I don't have that many now. Delete that one as well. So let me refresh this page. You know, Google feel like I'm abusing the free resource. You're gonna ask money. Google going to ask money. All right. So let's try now. Yeah, oh no. Okay. Terminate existing session and continue if you are interested in using Collab. More session you may want to check out Collab Pro. Oh my god. Okay. Manage sessions. Maybe all right. I don't know if um yeah, there are copies, right? Yeah, I have the I'm gonna delete this. Let's see. Close. Okay, let's try out now. Looks like now it's good. Okay. All right. All right. So okay, what is that? Okay, I missed the parameter, right? Okay. Put 0 here. I made a mistake. 1 comma 10. All right. So we get this, right? And if you run it again, you get a different. So it's just random, right? But if I put the seed value to a 1, right? dot seed. Let's say like 20. Okay, and you can see that always I get 3. So this is the proof that this is not a random number actual. This is actually a pseudo random number. But an algorithm, a specific recipe giving me unique one, right? So there's an algorithm running, and one example is the Mersenne twister. The founder's name is Mersenne. It's a mathematical algorithm, and it's also like quite interesting topic in CS research, finding a better random number generator algorithms. If you are interested, then that's a good kind of hot topic in CS research too. Okay, so so we get same number, right? So there's no randomness anymore, right? But if I remove this, okay, if I remove this, basically, right, I get kind of randomness. It has now. If we change, right? So for example, if I change over here, right? So I get 3, right? So I'm gonna change this to different, right? Seed, say like 21. I get now a different number. Oh, maybe not 21. I'm gonna change it like 100. I don't know why it's actually. So why is that? Oh, right. I actually changed that. Yeah, it's actually giving me the same now. So it shouldn't be actually. I wonder why actually. So hmm, random. Can anyone see something? Did I make a mistake, guys? Let's see. Give me 3 again, right? But 400 should be different. Wonder what that is. And I think I think Google Cache. Um, yeah, it looks like caching and running the cache. Um, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this, delete this block. So let's run it 400. It's still giving me the same. You know what? Let's try it over here. Okay. So right, import. Oops. Import random. Okay. So print random dot rand int. So let's say like 1. So I'm getting a random number between 1 and 10. Okay. So I get this, right? If I run it again, get this, run it again, I get this, right? So I'm going to set the seed now. Dot seed. Say what we had was 20, right? So it's just run, right? So it's setting the seed. Now if we run it, I get 3. All that. Oh, I don't know what happened. Um, why it's not? I don't know why it's not working. It should give me no. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yes, you're right. I have to set it again. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. Let me set it again. So right, and then run it again. 3. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I set it again, and then and run it again. We always get the seed. Okay. So 3. Okay. Now if I change the seed, I'm gonna change the seed to like I tried 21, 100. Okay, 100. Okay. So now if I run that again, um, I don't know why. Get the, yeah, I get different value now. Okay. So let me set it again. Well, I don't know why. It's kind of yeah, it's kind of strange actually. The different seed actually could actually give me different random numbers. Um, Bridget, do you have any input over here? We are in trouble right now. I'm trying to demonstrate something, but it's not working right here. All right. Um, yeah. Speed. Maybe it's the Python version. I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah. So with the same seed, I should get same, right? But different seed, I should get different random numbers. But it's kind of giving me this. Well, that may be, yeah. So, yeah, like, I mean, this is an expensive program I'm running. That's also taking a lot of memory. So the recorder, it may be that, yeah. But and I also I have three browsers, right? So I'm going to close this one. Let's see this. This is my other class actually. Maybe that I don't know. So let's try now. Okay, let's take in now. Yeah. Okay, there you go. All right. So this is 400. It's now no, it's getting to 8 again. Let's see. Let's change it again, right? So all right. Let's try one more time. Three. Yep. What is it? See. Mhm. Okay. Okay. So let's see if we get a different value. We get 5. Right. Okay. So, yeah. So let's see. Now I'm getting a 5, right? So yeah, looks like it. Okay, so it's a different number, but it's 5 now altogether, right? So it's changing, right? If you put a same in different seed, it's changing. So then basically, if you use a different number always, you get a different random number, right? So then how do we do that by default? Do we have to manually run seed like this, or what changing all the time? The time, right? The time is a number actually that runs in nanosecond in the computer. So it's increment by nanosecond. So that means really when we run it twice, there's a different time always. So if you put the time in there right here instead of this 23, problem solved. That means basically if you explicitly don't call seed, the default seed value Python uses is the current time in nanoseconds. Okay, so when when did they started counting? I think it's 70 something they started counting the epoch, the not the Big Bang, the, the the beginning of time. The beginning of time for the computer is I think somewhere in the 70s. So you guys can Google it. Okay, so and then that's yeah, running in nanoseconds. Yes, yes. Okay. So there's OS and then operating system actually has a way to do that, and also Python itself has a time library that does that. Okay, so so basically in by default Python seed is the current time, and it's always evolving. So if you run next time, it's a different time. So we have a different seed, so we get a different random number. Okay. But it's good to understand that this recipe giving this number, so it's not purely random. Okay, so all right, if I ask you guys to think of random number, it's kind of pure random number, right? So because you guys are don't like connected telepathically, right? So you cannot influence the others thinking, right? So it's feel, right? Okay. So that's that. Okay. So we're gonna go over to the next thing topic. So this is what they are talking about, right? See it here, and it's actually the the pseudo means it's not actually a pure random. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next topic. This one is important, like representing text. We kind of oops, um, came to this topic. What is this? Um, this topic. I think week two, right? Remember we talked about Unicode, code point, and ASCII, right? So, right. So the way we represent text in the computer as a code point, and then we basically digitize the code point into binary, right? So, um, and then we kind of go over it again, okay? So the current standard is Unicode encoding system, right? And then we basically have assigned character, assigned number for each unique character, right? So for example, space is 32, likewise, right? So we learned that, and then the numbers and also the alphabet. And if you have another language, and then you have other higher numbers, right? So that's the Unicode. Okay, all right. And then to print some of the characters, um, we kind of needed um, we need another way of doing it. Like for example, right? So I'm going to take this. I think it's very similar to Bridget's name, O'Brien. Okay. So we're gonna use that. So I'm gonna print this. Okay. So this Irish name. Um, what I'm going to do is, oh, I think I put the whole thing. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this slash and see what happens. See, it's already complaining, right? If I try to run this one, I get this syntax error saying that there's an unterminated string literal. Why? It's because this quotation Python now kind of misunderstand that as the end of this quotation. So it's now think, okay, this is the string that I want to print, and then I'm making a mistake because I am not properly enclosing this one, right? So that's what they're saying. Unterminated string literal, and it's like right here. Okay. So this is an error, right? So then how do we print? I want to print Bridget's name, Bridget O'Brien, right? Uh, so like then I have to put this apostrophe O, right? So the way I can do it basically, um, you have to escape that character like right like this. Okay. So that's the escape symbol. Okay. And then now I can actually print it. Okay. All right. And then there are other escape characters. Like for example, let's say um, I want to print this one. So this Windows path. Okay. Like for example, I want to open a file in my computer in Python, right? So I need to use this path, right? So so I'm gonna print it. If I try to print it directly, okay, like this, right? It's gonna complain. Okay, it's saying that this syntax error, Unicode error, and then this like this one, right? So it's pretty much saying that this is illegal to use as it is. So the way to fix this is basically let me print it, and then I'm going to escape the backslash. So sorry. this one, backslash, yeah. Okay. And if I do so, well, I can now print it. Okay, so I can now use it, right? So, but there's an easier way to do that. If anyone completed this assignment already, and you guys can answer what's the easier way. Imagine this path has 50 subfolders. So basically, for each one, you have to now manually add a double backslash, right? So 50 times. Yeah, we put R, right? So we call the row string, right? So basically, you don't have to do this. You put R in front of the string like this, and it's gonna now print. Okay. So we call it the row string. See that R over here, but I didn't put a backslash over here, right? So I didn't escape. I didn't have to escape if I print the entire string as a row string. All right, that's called the row string. Got it, guys? Don't get confused. Okay, so here I escaped every backslash, and here I just put R, and you can print any string like that. All right, so there are a whole bunch of export characters, escape characters. Okay, so we use double backslash for escaping backslash. To escape single quote, use like that, double quote like this. And if you want to, we are already familiar with new line, right? Character, so it's actually escaping that. So slash n, and to use a tab, you can use slash t. Okay, all right. All right, so that's about so then the yeah roasting thing. Okay, so this one is important. Okay, so we talk about, right, each character has a unique code point, right? So Python, in fact, Python actually use that to, for example, in sorting strings, right? So to sort strings, sort text, Python use that number and then use that number in sorting to figure out which character is larger than the other, right? So, so then Python should facilitate how to get this code point and also conversely, given that number, how to give that respect to character, right? And hence we have two built-in functions. One is ordinary or ORD function, which gives you that number, the code point, and char function chr, given that number, gives the character. Okay, let's some practice some of these numbers. Okay, so some of these functions. All right, so I'm gonna print. Hope I will not print pp. All right, so ord. Right, I'm gonna print ord value of character a. Okay, all right. I'm also going to print the the c char function chr value of 65. Okay, so look what happened. Okay, oh, see, where did I do that? Oh, oh yeah. Okay, right, so I got 65 and 8, right? So see that they are complementary, right? These two functions, right? I put a, I got 65, right? Right, I put 65, I got a, right? So that means you can basically do this. I can get the output of the other, like this suggesting right now, right? To the input to the other, right? So let's do that, and I get the same answer. Okay, okay. See that this is now 65. This whole thing is 65. So it's as is it like as if I am actually inputting 65 to tab function. Okay. So these two work hand in hand, like complementary to each other. Okay. So one of the output of the return value of the other can be the input of the to the other, vice versa. Okay. So And then we can try that same way. We can try that. Does anyone know like Mandarin code point value? Surely, do you know Mandarin code point value, Unicode value? Okay, so if we can try out like a random code point value, let's try out like um, I'm gonna say let's say like I don't know which language pop up. Like we're gonna try um, 3,000 something. It's a random number. We'll see what it is. Okay, this character, I don't know what it's kind of hard to read. And if we try, the Cybook actually has this Korean character, right? So I'm gonna try one of these. Okay, and I'm gonna try um, to print that the ORD value of it. Okay, so I'm gonna write it over here. ORD, um, and then this one. All right, and then I'm going to take that ORD value of, and I'm gonna plug it into the char. Okay, and let's see what happens. Okay. Oh yeah. So this one. All right. Yep. So this is the code point value, and this is the character. Okay. So this is in Korean. So this way, basically, you can. So you have now numeric value for characters. You can even sort this, but it's usually yeah. So that's how it works basically. And then in English, so it's incrementing from capital A to small a to um, capital A to capital C, and then small a to small c, likewise, right? So that way you can actually sort text because it's encoded as a numeric value, right? So you can use that numeric value to sort. Okay. All right. So there are some style guidelines you guys should so never use this style. Okay, that's a big no-no. So we usually write one code line per line, right? So like this can be a statement like this or an expression as well, like a function call, right? Um, and then if you want to, there's a whole bunch of like detail to the styling. This basically it says PEP8. There's the standard Python style guide, step 8. Okay. This is actually a kind of work in progress. Um, Time to time they review these standards, and then here you have naming convention and take a look, and then there's not just variable and then function names, all other like module names, class names, and then the way we should name. Okay, so if you want to, you can read about them, but try to adhere to the style. Okay, when you write code. So that's about that. All right, so we're gonna okay. So let's get our break, guys. Okay. Yeah, let's go. Okay. Bridget, is there a map created for data science class? Okay. She was asking actually. Are you a Dodgers fan? Okay. I guess. Yep. By the way, guys, I will talk about the system right now. That for for not that you have I actually added the resume part of the system today. Um, yeah, but you already have it, so you said you can do a website right for the visa. Is that this one? Okay. So, oh, okay. Oh, nice. So, yeah. Oh, okay. I think that that text is okay. My concern is this one is kind of contrasted. Yeah, but the volume and that one contrast is not. Oh, okay. So that is that the reason that this is oh, okay, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Icons, right? Yeah. Well, oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of US also goes into the opinion too, right? Like motivation. Um, yeah, I think so. We don't really oh, okay. Oh, really? So this is about like what's the topic title on the website? It's you, right? Is it you actually? Wow. Very cool. Yeah, you can, like, for example, you can showcase something similar, right? Like, here's an example, right? You can take, this is just an example. Like, take the code box, so that's JavaScript, and you run some of the turbo animation. That's so smart. That's so smart. Yeah, so you can actually do, ask me and I can show you how to actually. You can translate Python code to JavaScript and turbo. Yeah, because I've done a lot of yeah. Yeah. That's something like that. Yeah. Showcase something. Yeah. Showcase my work on. Yeah. Like a single example. That's so cool. I haven't even thought about these like Python graphics. All right. All right. Thank you. All right. All right. All right, guys. So the video today. Um. All right. So let me first, before this video, guys, I'm gonna go over the midterm. Um. So I still see that so none of you have started. I think so. Yeah. So, but understand that the academic. So all of these are required to open this one. Okay, the midterm. So that means you first need to view this. So it's a view requirement. The discussion, manage your stress. Then you have to finish the academic integrity workshop. Okay, so that just the 30 minutes thing. You can finish it, and then this will get open. Okay. I also increased the deadline to 26th. Okay, but officially yesterday was the midterm, end of midterm actually. Okay, so what we're gonna do, basically my deadline to submit midterm grades is 29th. So I actually put add one more week to your, you can actually take that, but you don't have to have the midterm ready to realize your midterm grade. It's not your midterm project's grade, it's the grade until October 15th. That's your midterm grade. I'll be reporting that. Okay. So here is the thing, right? So I'm going to show you that. I want to show you this. That I added actually the part that you guys should. I recommend everyone to try um, the resume project. Okay. It's really simple. You will learn the skill to use GitHub and Git in tandem. Okay, which is a skill in software engineering. So So you will install Git, which is a command in Unix or in Linux or both in Windows, right? So this instruction to how to install it, and then Git will simply talk from your local machine to the GitHub in the internet, okay? And those instructions are there, okay? So these are instructions right here as well as right here. So let me go to the link, and it's actually over here, okay? So both the instructions are here as well as in canvas, right? And then basically you first clone the template I'm giving you, okay? So here's that code, and then you have to basically give me the screenshot of this. So each of these code that you are running on your local machine using git command, you have to get a screenshot, okay? Because otherwise you're not going to learn, if because there are you can do all of these from internet on GitHub, but then you will not learn about Git commands. So the idea is the main objective of this is learning GitHub and Git, and the how it's working in tandem, right? Okay, yeah. So you learn that actually in this project, doing this project. Yeah. So you can follow the instruction, but I specifically ask all the Git commands. You take a screenshot and then put them together. Yeah, you're right. You can do that as well. Yeah, yeah. And then you edit your resume. So I'm giving the template. You can run with it as well. Okay, you can put your colleges, classes you're taking, and also project you have, if you have any, your experience, your LinkedIn link, right? All of those, and then there's a place for you to put your picture as well if you choose to. Okay. So and then you commit those. You add that to your local repository, and then you push it to GitHub. That's the skill that you need the most. You all your work is local up to now. Now you are actually publishing it to the internet. So that's this code, and that's it. This should be really easier than writing an essay for the midterm. So I highly recommend trying this out as an option. Okay. So all right. So Nelfi, read the midterm project. It's in there. Okay. All right. And then if you need help, sit down with me and I can show you. Um, like you can showcase some of your class work as well. Okay. Like turtle code. Okay. So that's about the midterm, guys. Okay, but do not stretch it too far. Do not leave it for the final exam. This is the midterm exam, which is a project. Okay, so all right, and it's 10 point for your old class total. Okay, so let's go to the video today. So I just published it. It's in the module 9. Okay, and this is also a really good example of how the GitHub and the open source evolve, how the open source evolve pretty much. Okay, so let's watch this one. Could you get the lights?
Hi, I'm Mark Sermon, the Executive Director of Mozilla. And I want to tell you a little bit about the story of Mozilla and about Firefox, and also the ideas behind what we do. Participation, collaboration, sharing resources, community. These are the things that power Mozilla. They're at our DNA. The story of Firefox is one of a group of rebels, small band of rebels, in fact, taking on a much bigger force. Think of David and Goliath or Star Wars. And it starts in the earliest days of the web. If you are as old as me, you can think back to the browser that first came out, Mosaic, or Netscape Navigator, which came after it. And all of a sudden, millions of people around the world were discovering this wonderful new resource, the internet, the web. Now, of course, it doesn't take long for big companies, and in this case, Microsoft, to take notice of the web. And they build Internet Explorer, which is not a bad thing as a competitor to the other browsers. Competition is good. We believe in competition. But the problem is Microsoft uses Windows to turn Internet Explorer very quickly into a monopoly. Almost 100% of web browsers by the late 90s were Internet Explorer. And what that meant was that Microsoft took control over the programming languages of the web, was trying to take the web in its own direction. Luckily, a set of people said, this is not how it should be. The web should remain a public resource that belongs to all of us. The building blocks of the web should be something that are owned in common and not owned by one company. This is one of the key principles behind working open. Sharing decision-making, inviting others into the process. And that spark of pushback against Microsoft was a spark of saying, let's do that. Let's build the web together. A key moment in that process is where Netscape, a public company, decides to do something really radical. They decide to open source the code behind their browser. And what that means is they put it out in the public for anyone to use, copy, remix, or change. Nobody had ever done anything like that before. And that is another key principle behind open leadership. The idea that code, content, some other resource is out there in the open, freely remixable, freely usable, freely copyable. That is a concept that allows others to do surprising and wonderful things. And it's something really has been behind our story and how we work today. So with the code out there in the wild, people started to band together in even greater numbers. They call themselves Mozilla. And it's not an organization at the time, it's an informal community of designers, engineers, writers, community organizers, and they said, let's take on Microsoft, let's take this open source code, and let's build a better browser. That points to really a third tenet of open leadership that I want to underline. The idea of inviting people in. The first few people who gathered around the Mozilla project, who worked on the Mozilla code, invited others in. And that invitation, come in, volunteer, be part of the solution, is a central tenet of open leadership. 5 years after the Netscape code comes out, using these principles, shared leadership, the idea of open code, inviting other people in, Firefox comes to be. Firefox is the first big release of the Mozilla code base, and it takes off like this. This fast browser that has pop-up blocking, that's free of viruses, and is open, starts to become a real hit with internet users. And it also becomes a hit with developers, meaning the web really has a renaissance. New kinds of web pages emerge. And Firefox actually doesn't put Microsoft out of business, but breaks up their monopoly on the web and opens us up to have the web that we have today. And what's exciting about this is not just that Firefox was successful and that open source and open leadership worked. It's we've seen that work time and time again. And that's really an idea behind the Mozilla network. We really want to bring together people who are part of the open internet tribe, who want to work open, to bring their projects, their ideas, and find collaborators. So that's why we're here in the Mozilla network, and we really hope that you and your project and your goals can come and be a part of the Mozilla network and thrive. Welcome to the network.
All right, guys. So, contributing, Mozilla Foundation is a great place if you want to start contributing to open source. You don't have one thing, you know, you don't have to be a software engineer to contribute. You can, as a beginner student, you can track a bug, you can spell check, um, correct a spelling mistake. There are many ways you can contribute. If you are a designer, you can design an icon. So, and that way you will get to know some of the engineers. Mozilla pays the industry rate for their workers, like engineers. So, like Google engineers get salary. It's kind of the same that Mozilla pays. So, getting to know them and working with them is a great opportunity for you. If you want to, if you don't know how to start, ask me and I can show you. Okay. All right. So that's. So let's start. So we're gonna continue our lesson, guys. So basics. Um, so I'm gonna remember we kind of jumped to list because we needed list knowledge in the group assignment. So list is a sequence of items, right? So that item can be any type of thing, right? So what did we call a list? Because it can have many types of things. We called list a list can contain any type of element, any type of thing, right? So we call list heterogeneous array structure. Can have type element can be anything, right? But unlike that, a string is only a set of characters, right? So that means only one type of thing inside a string, which are characters. So then what can we call a string? The opposite of heterogeneous, homogeneous, right? So string is a homogeneous um, sequence or container. Okay, it only contains characters. Okay, and we can prove that. And then the access of each character is same, right? So again, it's a sequence or it's a character container. So you can treat it as a whole. Like the same way we found the length of a list, right? You can find the length of string as well, treating it as a whole. Or if you want to access a part or a character, then we can use the indexing and then indexing operator to access each index, right? So, and then that's this picture actually I have drawn in the other class. Okay. So, We did the same thing for list in the other day, right? So string or text is a character sequence, but we can access the same way of indexing. So left to right is positive indexing. We start off with 0 and all the way go down. Negative indexing start from the end and we go from left to right to left. Start from -1 because 0 is already taken to the all the way to the end, all the way to the beginning, right? So you can use either way to access characters. Okay, let's try with that. So I'm gonna create a string. So py equals Python, right? And then basically I'm gonna print the whole thing py, and then py like this. It's like suggesting I'm gonna 0 actually 0, and then maybe we put 5. That yeah 5, and then I'm going to also use yeah, and then I'm trying to make sure I don't put pp. So it's -1. Yeah, I think we are good. Okay. All right. NN. All right. Okay. So and you can see that, right? So I can use either way, and then depending on the convenience, you can pick the way of indexing. All right. So that's the indexing. Okay. So let's. So I said earlier, like this is a sequence, a sequence, and then we can actually treat it as a whole and do something. Right. So one thing is you can find the length, and we have built-in function for that. Okay. So I'm gonna write print the same way we use len, the length. It's a built-in function. It can take any sequence or a container in Python as its input. Okay. So if I put py over here, it should give me the length of it, 6. Okay. So we have 6 characters in Python. So that the length function, it's a built-in function, but there are a whole bunch of operations only like dedicated to string class. Okay. Um, and then we can find out what they are. How do we find the set of attributes of a class or a module? We learned it actually the other day. Yeah, dir, right? So we can use the dir function, right? Um, right. But before that, I'm going to show you one more thing. I think it can go here. So print. I'm going to show you the type of string py in this case, and then I'm going to show you. So this is kind of a proof type of. I'm going to say like one of the characters, one of the character. Okay. So I don't need the whole of it. Let's say like this. Yeah. Okay. So this is a single character, right? That's the fifth element, and this is the whole string, and you will see that they're both string. Okay. So individual characters are also the same type. Okay. That's very important to understand, right? The whole string is string class, and then each individual characters are also string class. So, and there are other languages that this thing is different, like in Java and in C++, this is different. Okay? All right, so let's say now we can go to the other one. So this one of operations. So I'm gonna use print. Okay. Dir and str. Okay, it's the string class. Oops, str. Okay, This means string class. So it will give me the attributes available in this string. If you scroll down to the end, okay, you will see that there are a whole bunch of operations. We will go over some of these, but for today's group discussion, we need this guy, the split function. Split this one. Okay, so let's try this one out. So I'm gonna use let me take some text. Where do I get it? I can get it like this one. All right. This one. Okay, so I'm gonna create this, and I'm gonna split this one. So let's go over here. Print. I'm gonna actually assign a variable to this. Let's say text equals this. Okay, and then I'm gonna split the text. So how do we access split? Dot notation and split. Okay, and then that's it. Okay, all right. So if I do that, and you can see that actually. Yes. Okay. And if you want to, you can actually take a look at the documentation. Okay. So let's quickly Google that. So Python string. Okay. If you check the documentations right here, string operations. I think you have to go to string methods. Okay. These are the methods. If you split, I think this is the one. All right. And you can see that the default, if you read this section, it will say that the default, the delimiter, okay. I think this is mine. Okay, I think in the right place. Yeah. Um, yeah. So basically, the default delimiter is actually space. I mean, that's what I want to see. I don't see it actually right now. Yeah. So delimiter string given. Okay. So um, okay. So yeah, so the default delimiter is actually space. So that's what I actually given, right? But let me do this and show you one more example. If you use, let's say I have a different character. So let's say um, like text um, equals um, let's say I need something else, a character. Let's say I'm gonna kind of make it like this and then make it like dash inside, okay, and like this, and then now I can actually, I'm gonna print. So makes remember split returns a list. See that? It's a list of words returned. Okay, so, but I'm going to now take over the default value, the default split with this one. Now I'll get again, this is now the splitting default. So the delimit is this. I can never forget. Then this whole thing, right? Okay. All right. So it's no longer space now. The default delimiter is now the dash. So that's that. And then the so I think the you need to. I'm going over the thing that you need to do the today's problem, guys. Okay. So the next one you need actually I'm gonna jump into that one, but I'll be finishing this topic next Tuesday, guys. Okay. So the tuples. Okay. So the other data structure is actually uh, common data type summary is the tuple. Okay. So tuple is a kind of a specialized type of. Oh, so this one. Tuple. So it's a sequence type. It's like a list, but it's actually immutable. Okay. So basically, to create a tuple, let's create a quickly a tuple. Okay. So the tuple is how we create a tuple. We use normal bracket, not square bracket. That's a list. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So I'm gonna use the same thing for a list. Okay. Let's say 1, 2, and 3. The big difference between tuple and a list is lists are mutable. That means we can change values once created. Like for example, I'm going to change this to 9. Okay. And then print a list. Okay. So dude, I changed it already. Google is suggesting, right? And you can see that it's actually oh, they made a mistake. Let's see what it is. Index error. Yeah, it should be 2, right? All right, there you go. Okay. See that it's 1, 2, 3 earlier. Now it's 1, 2, 9. So I change it, right? But can I do the same for the tuple? And you will see that I cannot do that. Okay. So if I do that to the tuple, like this, and then print the tuple, right? It's gonna complain. Right? So the tuple object does not support item assignment. What I did in the list, right? I assigned the item to a new value, right? So that we call item assignment. It's not supported in tuples because tuples are immutable. Okay. But the good use of tuple is, imagine you want to return a couple of things from a function. So far we have been returning only one from function, right? One item, one return value. Let's say you have two, then you can make it a tuple, and then you can return that tuple. And that's what we need in today's problem, and then the tuple knowledge. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to just publish that. So it's in module 9, the street address. The problem is this. Given the USA street address, there's a standard form for that. Give me the house number and the zip code as a tuple. So you have to return that as a tuple. And here's an example. So this guy's address is this. Who's this? Yeah, so it's president address, and return the house number and the first part of the zip code. Okay, not the whole thing. Okay. So we learn how to get, given this, we learn how to get this right. So you have to return this. Okay. All right. So that's the solution. But this real application to this one, right? This one possibly does it, right? So first is actually digitize the address by taking pictures. Then the alarm goes to the conveyor belt, take pictures, right? And then digitize the digital image address using optical character recognition. And then it's actually, fragment this address into the house number and the zip code. And then each letter goes to the correct numbered zip code bin. And then that's how they mail out. So part of this is this kind of a program. Okay. It's a little bit more sophisticated than this, but we are solving simple here, right? So the textual separation of characters, that's what it is. And then if it can't digitize, and then the manual, like a person intervene and look it up and figure out All right. So today's problem is this: given a USA street address, return the house number and the zip code. Okay, so that's the usage of tuple. You can return two things, not just one.